and welcome to a Dog Eat Dog episode of the Drywall Podcast. I'm your host, Nick Harmon. With us today, Stefan Jenkins of Big Dawg Drywall in the house, coming to us from Kelowna, British Columbia. Stefan is an enthusiastic entrepreneur whose content attracted attention from some of the bigger companies. We talk about family, his previous life in music, and how he hustled work early on.
We said we're going to Kelowna. Boom, we found a place. We made it happen, and give our notice everywhere. And I started dispersing our things we didn't need and finding side jobs. So that's where it really started. It was like the need to make this move. So I was like, boom, 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 did that. So then when we moved here, it's like I'm not going working for anybody. I'm going to be doing whatever I can to.
Wasn't it hard though going to Kelowna and you don't really know anybody in Kelowna? Wasn't it hard hustling gigs in Kelowna? How'd you do it?
So first of all, I found every outlet that they used, whether it was Kijiji, they have one called Castanet, even Facebook Marketplace, and I just posted on anybody needed a hole replaced, fixed, anything.
Okay, all right.
And any additions done, whatever, on there. Every day I'm posting on different pages, all the buy and sell pages, whatever, annoying people, but I would always get someone to bite, right?
I love Stefan's enthusiastic energy and his hustle. He's a great guy, and I love his story. I know that you are going to as well. The month of August on the Drywall Podcast was brought to you by the Drywall Supply Yard in Montrose, Colorado. If you are interested in sponsoring a month of the Drywall Podcast, you can reach out to me directly at info@frescoharmony.com, and we will totally chat about it. The Drywall Podcast was also brought to you by Fresco Harmony, making walls better since 2004. New episodes of the Drywall Podcast can be listened to every Friday on your favorite platforms such as Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. But for now, Stefan, the Big Dawg, coming at you on the 62nd episode of the Drywall Podcast. Let's get into it. Okay, nice. Big Dawg Drywall. Stefan, yes, I heard you say it. Stefan or Stefan Jenkins. Stefan Jenkins.
Yes,
on the Drywall Podcast. Welcome.
Thank you. It's an honor.
What are we going to talk about? Stefan, so you recently thrusted onto the scene with some videos, and it seems like you're getting to 1,000 followers. You got to 1,000 followers, and all of a sudden Aaron with Columbia Tools is coming out to see you and bring you tools. What the hell, dude? How do you get Aaron St. James of Columbia Tools to come to your shizzle for rizzle? How does that happen? What did he reach out to you?
No. I definitely started reaching out to everybody first because I give it this. If I'm gonna do it, I'm going all in. So I started reaching out to everybody. First Can-Am actually reached out to me first. They were the first ones to reach out to me, and then after that, Wolfgang even told me, he's like, have you talked to anybody else? So I started messaging everybody else too, because I was already kind of somewhat of a brand ambassador for Can-Am at the same time. So I started working with them, and then I started making videos for them, for Wolfgang and with tools and stuff like that. So then I started getting a little bit more attention that way. How did you
hook up with Can-Am? Did you reach out to those guys?
He just started messaging me. So he messaged me. I'm pretty sure it went that way. I was tagging him or whatever, right?
Okay.
And he started messaging me, hey, started making conversations, get phone calls and stuff like that, and working with him.
I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. Were you using the semi-automatic tools prior to Wolfgang and talking?
Yeah, so that's all I was using. I only had the tube applicators. That's how I've been taking for the last 15 years almost.
Okay. All right.
Just
no box. No boxes.
Boxes, yes. Boxes.
Okay.
I've always had boxes.
Okay. No bazooka,
Just
no
now
bazooka.
started the bazooka. Yes.
What about the angle box and all that stuff?
No, just applicator and flusher.
Applicator
So still
and
flushing my angles.
Okay. All right. All right. People
But
swear
I'd like
that.
to. I'm gonna. That's now that I have this relationship with Colombia, I'd like to get into trying out other things and showcasing
Sure.
them as well. Yeah,
Sure.
I like that. I think the fact that the way that I talk to the camera, and I'm pretty good in that sense, I suppose, and very
Yeah.
enthusiastic. A
Yeah.
lot of people, they message me and just thank me for my enthusiasm. They're like, "You give the spark to my day," you know. So that's pretty
Yeah.
cool in that sense. So I think that's just why I'm catching it on, because a lot of these people I notice, they got, 5, 10,000, 100,000, way more than me, and they're messaging me like, "How'd you do this already?" But even they pointed out the difference between us. They're like, "Well, you talk to them,
Yeah.
you tell them about your day and blah blah blah." It's like, we just showed the tools. So I think that's kind of what had me catch on real quick with everyone. The
Yeah.
fact that
Yeah.
I
Kind of
with them.
throwing it out there and not really giving a shit what people think. I think is
Yeah,
that's a big part of it, man. Because I mean, you
absolutely.
go on here, you go on and people are going to judge you. You just can't really care about that.
Not
You
at
just
all. No, I don't.
have
I
to.
just have fun with it, man. That's
And
really the
also,
best part.
and I think supporting others is a big part of it too. Like not just
Absolutely.
go reaching out and like telling people nice job and like thanks for the content and stuff like that. I think that's really
Yeah.
valuable.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Yeah.
Very cool. So we talked on the phone
Oh,
a little bit. You've got kind of a sorted background. You how long have you been in the trade now?
I started. Well, I was first drywalling in 2011. I started drywalling, did that for a couple of years.
Drywall,
So
like hanging drywall.
hanging board first.
Okay,
So
in
I did that, and then
2000
I
in
actually got a hernia
2011.
from drywalling. I never did no heavy lifting in my whole life and stuff like that. So then I did
Yeah.
drywalling and I got a hernia. So, and then the thing is, in Canada, you get the free healthcare, but I had to be on the waiting list, right? So I had to sit here with a hernia. My buddy was a taper. He's like, "Well, how about you just come work with me?" Because I was self-employed when I got hurt, so I wasn't paying into anything. I was young, wasn't
Okay.
paying into this disability, anything like that. So when I got hurt, I was screwed. I was only getting like welfare. I was like, I can't live like this. So my buddy who was a taper, he's like, come and tape with me. You just don't have to carry any buckets, anything like that. And I'll teach you how to use all the tools. So it ended up being like a year
Yeah.
before I had my surgery. So then I just had my surgery and went back taping, stayed taping.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Hanging's tough, but we haven't had many hangers, mostly finishers on the Drywall podcast.
Okay.
Did you get a chance to check out any Drywall podcast episodes yet?
After we started speaking, then I actually went and I was watching or listening to Wolfgang's
Okay.
last night. Yeah, and
Okay. His is
other ones I
good.
caught quickly.
Yeah, Wolfgang's
Yeah,
is
it
really
was
great.
interesting just because I wanted to hear, just because I already
Yeah.
know him. I had those conversations with him, but it was nice to be able to sit down and all the parts that I missed and he missed telling me or whatever. So it was kind of cool
Yeah.
in that sense.
He's a cool
Yeah, yeah,
dude. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. Cool. So this is 2011.
yeah.
That's a while ago, dude. That's like 13 years ago. How old are you?
No doubt. How old was I?
How old are you now?
How old am I? 34.
Oh, you're young. So you were like
Yeah,
22, 21.
21 when I first started. Yeah, it was in June or
Okay.
in July, so I was just turning 22.
All right. So let's go
Yeah,
down the timeline a little bit. I thought you were like a derelict before you started getting into drywall.
a derelict.
I don't
What do you mean?
know. Well, we talked about you doing some sorted things with your time prior to drywall, and maybe you sort of
Absolutely.
like
Yeah,
you
I never really worked my whole life.
what I like to call a hustler. Like you know how to hustle.
Absolutely. And I feel like that I took from that, and that's where I got my extra hustle from, versus
Yeah.
anyone else, and I always wanted more because before I had quite a bit of money and whatever, if I wanted a vehicle or whatever, right? So
Yeah.
coming from that, I couldn't just get by getting paid hourly and just making nothing. I came into this like, okay, well, if I'm going to do that, then I'm going to make as much money as I can out of it. That's where it started, So
Was there a
guy,
was there a conscious decision to be like clean money? Like I want to like go make money,
yeah,
be above board, like so to speak.
I mean, so I was, even once I started drywalling, I moved away, and that's how I ended up moving to another city. And then I was like, I'm gonna move here and start working because my uncle actually moved me away from the street life or whatever. I was involved in gangs and all that, and
Yeah.
then he moved me there. So then I kind of met the same people. So I was still kind of in and out of it for quite a while. And then when I met the woman that I'm with now, she already had a son. So then I was like, well, there's not going to be no funny business around. There's a kid in the house. And then boom, I said, okay, well, then I have to take this serious. So then we moved away from there and we moved here to Kelowna. And as soon as I moved here, I was like, okay, I'm not doing nothing but owning my own business.
Okay, Kelowna. Colona. Yes.
Yeah. It's a hot spot. Number one hotspot around the world, really. It's the nicest place in Canada.
Is it?
I mean, I haven't been everywhere to say that, but
there might be some debate. I mean,
there might be, absolutely, and I still might learn that myself. But
I got to go to Salt Spring, man. That place was beautiful. Holy mackerel!
I haven't been there. As you can see, though, like I'm sitting at the top of the mountain. I'm just outside, peace and quiet. It's nice.
It looks gorgeous.
Yeah. Right on the top of the mountain.
I'm from Vancouver, Washington originally.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of up in, I'm familiar with the Northwest, like the big trees and all that stuff,
Okay.
Love it up there. A little bit of rain. I was like, I feel like in my soul, I was always like kind of a desert rat. So I was like, I'm going down south. I want to be in the heat. I want to be in the desert. Never look back, man. Love it down here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. No, I haven't been out there either, man. I haven't really been too many places in the States. Like even before if things really picked up here, my plan was going to try to pack us out there because I know I could talk my way into anything. So I was just going to call drywall companies and get us over there because, give me a visa, whatever it took, and then things started picking up here. So with my company and started my company, I pretty much like 10 years to the day in June 2021 when I started my Big Dawg Drywall. So.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah, like I said, but the problem was, like I said, I was half in, half out the whole time. So once I got with her, I was like, now I'm all the way in. So before I never took drywall serious, it was just a job,
Okay.
And then I learned to love it and made everything that I have sacrificed that I had to make in order to make it into something,
Okay.
Something big. And I have like big goals, and like I don't want to just stop there because you're not going to get rich off drywall, as I heard you guys mention a few times in that podcast with Wolfgang. So you can have good money, but
well, I think we talked about like richness and wealth.
Absolutely. And actually there was one quote that you said in there that I actually am gonna repeat many times. And it was actually, you said how you measure success is once you're on the right path to your goals, then you are successful. You are success. And actually that made me think a lot because a lot of people look at me and they see me as success just because of the way I present myself online and everything. But then in reality, I'm still just grinding right to the bone, right?
Yeah.
But I present myself like I'm on the right path. So then that made sense how people could see that. Whereas you see success, but you're not quite there, but you are on that path. You know what I mean? So it made a lot of sense when you said that, and I really like that. It's gonna stick with me.
Good. Yeah, it's sort of relative, that like people maybe think that, I'm doing Fresco Harmony, I do the podcast, and I got all this money, and and my life's a mess. My life's a mess. I mean, we all life's hard for everybody, man. Nobody has a free ride, and
no,
I think sometimes social media can make it like give you the illusion that everything's like, lollipops and butterflies. And the reality is we all struggle. We all work. I have to work at this thing, and I think people maybe are under the misconception that like things come to you. Yeah. You got to work, you got to hustle, you got to work all the time, like all the time.
Yeah. Perseverance, no matter what. I mean, there's bumps along the road.
Cool. I like it. So 2000, let's go back to 2011. What was you start your own business? Well, thereabouts. You're starting your own business 10 years ago. Was that challenging, or how long until you like started from when you started your business to when you met? It's not your wife, it's girlfriend, right?
Yeah, fiance. Congratulations.
Yes, awesome. Yes, when's the date? When are you getting?
We don't have the date yet.
Okay, you gotta nail that down. I call it, here's another gem for you. A hat over the fence, I call it. So so when you like set a date, I guess it's kind of a story, and I don't know the story fully, but there's like two people, there's a big wall, and they don't know how they're going to get around this like giant wall. So one of them grabs a hat off the other one's head, he throws it over the fence. And now they have to figure out how to get over the wall, because they got to go get the hat. So I call it the hat over the fence is setting a date for the wedding. You got to do that.
And then make it happen. Yeah, I like that. It's just like anything. You got to set the goal in order for it to happen. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. Yeah. I like
Another one is vacationing. Like a lot of people are like, oh, I want to come down to Albuquerque and do the Fresco Harmony training. I'm always like, there's a lot of jibber jabber. We've had a couple people come down and it's a lot of fun and they learn a lot of shit. But or any vacation, it's like, buy your fucking plane ticket. You get that plane ticket, especially if it's non-refundable, your ass is going to be in the goddamn plane seat when that date comes. Otherwise, you know what? Otherwise, shit never happens, man. It's all just talk.
Yes.
I don't know. That's my thing. Yeah, we just got $2,000 I dropped on my son and I are going to England. We got a Fresco Harmony product into Swindon, England.
Oh, yeah.
Company called GWI. They're pretty great. You can follow them on social. Super cool dude, Ben Cole. We sort of courted for a long time, but I mean, it's all sales, man. Super cool guy. We ended up getting product over there. It's a huge bitch. And I was like, dude, I want to come to England. I want to do a training over there. He's like, yeah, come on, man. So we're going, I'm taking my son, he's 7, and I'm just super stoked about it. But it was like, same thing. I'd always talked about doing a training in England. I've never been to England, but it's like, man, as soon as you get that plane ticket to England, your butt puckers a little bit. And it's like, okay, it's on. I better find a place. I better find a place to stay.
Oh yeah.
Very cool. But I want to get into I don't know, there was a time period I'm always interested in, like this jump off point. Like you talked about the success thing. Like there's sort of a jump off point when you're working for somebody else, you're kind of floundering to when you have your own gig and you're doing your own hustle. That's a challenging aspect, I think, for anybody that's running their own business. Tell me about your experience with that. Like, the jump off point where you're like, you said you've always been hustling, so it was kind of easy for you to make that transition, but it's still kind of scary. Like when you jump out there, you start hustling your own work. What was your experience around that?
Well, I mean, originally, I just waited, I guess, until I felt like I was comfortable. Like I said, I was kind of half in, half out. So then it was like the last, we moved here in 2019. So it was only like 2018 when I met her, and we just started.
Okay.
I started fading away from everything and taking it serious. So at that moment, then I started taking on every side job and finding little jobs that I can do because we set a goal. We said, okay, like right away when we met, we're moving to Kelowna. She's like, I've always wanted to live there. Let's go. So
where were you living at the time?
We were in Red Deer, Alberta.
Okay, Alberta. All right.
Yeah. So just like you said, once you buy that plane ticket, blah, 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 right? You start putting it in action. So we said, we're going to Kelowna. Boom. We found a place. We made it happen, and give our notice everywhere. And I started dispersing our things we didn't need and finding side jobs. So that's where it really started. It was like the need to make this move. So I was like, boom, 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 did that. So then when we moved here, it's like, I'm not going working for anybody. I'm going to be doing whatever I can to.
Wasn't it hard though, going to Kelowna and you don't really know anybody in Kelowna? Wasn't it hard, like hustling gigs in Kelowna? How'd you do it?
So first of all, I found every outlet that they use, whether it was Kijiji, they have one called Castanet, even Facebook Marketplace. And I just posted on anybody needed a hole replaced, fixed, anything.
Okay. All right.
And any additions done, whatever, on there. Every day I'm posting on different pages, all the buy and sell pages, whatever, annoying people, but I would always get someone to bite, right? And then it would go from there. And then I would just get a little job here, a little job there, enough making buy, because I said I was doing my own thing. So I just kept doing that until rang enough bells, and then I started getting into with subcontracting. Then I did a little bit for some subcontractors. Then I went around, so that's when I started kind of annoying them because I was out for myself to begin with. So I was like, oh, okay, so as soon as that guy ran out of work, I'm calling every other company, and I was like, who's got more and who's going to pay me more? And so I was just
Okay.
really just out for the biggest dollar, and in order to achieve more, and so that I can build my company more. Now, because I knew there was more to it, you know, and
Yeah,
so
but I mean,
price.
are you competitive with your prices though? When you're starting out like that, you're not charging top dollar. I would say you got to be
Well, no,
like,
not when I
you got to
started
ride
out.
that line a little bit.
Well, especially in a new place. So when I
Yeah.
first moved here, I took whatever, like for the first year, I took, once I
Okay.
started subcontracting, basically, I worked some pretty low prices on some jobs, and I did that, and I did this, and whatever it took to kind of get out there and build my skill set as well. Once I was doing big houses, because it was quite the jump coming from there. Did a lot of commercial, and it's a lot of smaller houses and like townhouses and stuff like that in Red Deer. Versus you come here and it's all custom homes, and it was a big jump. I had to, step up my tool game and everything like that at the same time, right? So yeah,
Very
it's been a
cool.
big adjustment. It's been a big adjustment all around, but I was just learning as I went, and I just called it my company and I made it happen. It's like
So
almost like you fake it till you make it, but I knew what I was doing.
yeah,
But I just
yeah.
so that's like what I say, how it looks like I have more success. At the same time, I'm already trying to be that bigger company with when it's just me here riding the
Yeah.
wheels. Yeah,
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
yeah.
So you're doing some larger projects. You don't have anybody working with you. It's just you.
I have one guy working with me again. I did for the first 2 years of having my company. I
Okay.
had at least a couple guys working for me at all times, and then at least one solid one, and then the other guy. But it all fell apart. Everyone, as soon as summer hit this year, and everyone started drinking, and I can't have it because I take on a lot, so I need to. I'd rather be able to count on someone, or if I can't, then I don't want them there, and because this gives me too much stress, right? So I end up taking on a lot by myself.
Yeah, you got to be careful
because
about getting too
because
busy.
I was on a steady incline, right? And then all of a sudden, there's nobody out here that wants work. People call me and they don't show up the first day. They've been bugging me for 2 weeks, and then I go, okay, come to work, and then they don't show up. Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
real. That's the most hardest thing here. So I mean, I would be
Yeah.
a hell of a lot bigger than I am now if I was able to find employees.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's that
absolutely.
part's
It's hard
tough.
to, yeah, it's hard to take on a whole lot, but I still do. Like, I mean, I banged out 4 jobs. I mean, not massive jobs, but I mean, like basement suite here, rancher there, bathroom reno there, and another
Nice.
bathroom all in last week, right? So I was all over big days, but making it
Yeah.
happen, right?
Do
Yeah.
you do multiple jobs at once, or do you try to
Uh,
keep it to one at a time?
It usually ends up being at least like a couple in a week, unless I'm doing like a big house. Usually, if we're doing like a 20,000 square foot house, we'd like to keep that there, 20,000 board feet, right? It's
Yeah.
usually, yeah. So we like to stay in one place then. I just tell everyone when we're busy until we're done this. Then
Yeah, that's
that's
like a
full day.
5 or 7 thousand square foot floor footage house. Like
Exactly. So that takes about a week.
fatties. Yeah,
All
those
in.
are
Yeah.
those are big. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Those
also depending on the detail, I did one that not too long ago in April that really threw me off because we were banging out 20,000 square foot houses in a week, like I was saying. And then I hit this one with so much detail, vaulted ceilings everywhere, Jamex around every window and door, and
yeah.
ended up taking me almost 4 weeks. And I still had to keep paying everyone. So that's where you really feel the effects of having your company when I can do it. And yeah, there was
Yeah.
a couple at the
Yeah.
same time that I tried to take on, and then I took on that one instead. I thought it was going to be the gold mine, but it ended up all the detail and stuff, but the crew wasn't quite there, so it ended up me basically doing everything, and that's when everyone was falling apart at the same time too, so it didn't help.
Do you
So
get in
it's kind of,
trouble with
kind of
like the do you get in trouble with the GC when you're like because you're maybe going too slow if it's just you?
well, it's not very often, no, because they know that they're gonna cheat the quality. Like people will call me, hey,
Okay.
I got this 40,000 square foot house, but I need it done quality, so I'd rather you come here, and
Okay.
so at the same time, there's that. But I'm all the subcontractor guys, all the other drywall companies, like I don't have any filler jobs. It's just whatever I can find for myself now. Like I had a conversation with one of the number one drywall contractors out here not too long ago, and he was telling me how it seems like my company is starting to be a competitor or potential of being his competitor one day. So that's why nobody is giving me any houses from them that they're getting, right? Even though they ensure quality, but they want to give it to the guys, in exact words, they want to give it to the guys that are going to be tapers for 20 years, not the guys that want to run their own company and live off of them, and build it off of them. So I thought that was pretty interesting, but I already had that kind of feeling, because as I started going up, then they stopped talking to me less, or started talking to me less.
Yeah.
So it was very interesting seeing that.
It is. There's some
local scene, like you were saying before, you think it was more of a community, but it's more of a community like one person, like all online like that, but not in your area. Like nobody really want to communicate with this guy, as soon as it looks like he's doing something for himself. It's kind of funny.
Which I still think, even on a local setting, that working together is more beneficial, especially for us drywallers.
Absolutely.
Like you could benefit from them, they could benefit from you, because there's going to be a time when they get busy where it's like they can throw you a bone just like you can throw them a bone. You guys could probably do better if you work together. That's my inclination.
Yeah, I know that. But I am actually working with another contractor at the time, because slowed down for myself, and same thing. He lost a couple of his guys, so he's down to himself. So me and another contractor here, we're splitting houses. So that's what I'm actually doing this week. I just split a couple with him too. So he'll do the top, I'll do the bottom, or whatever. But this one we're gonna just bang it out together. He's pretty cool. So yeah. He does his own contracts as well. But I mean, we both ended up having no employees, so let's just bang out this one. And it's a very interesting house too, so excited to do that. And
it's fun working with somebody, right? It gets kind of lonely.
Absolutely. Especially somebody older too. It's funny. He's actually 60 years old, and he works just like me. What I mean? But he takes his evenings and weekends off, like religiously, for sure. Yeah. Nobody's just like down the same path, everything. But he's still just grinding it out. He doesn't.
He's old enough to know better, man. You get to a certain point, you're like, I'm not working Saturday and Sunday anymore. I mean, you still do it sometimes, but like, life's too short, man.
Big goals, man.
Do you have a daughter? Did I see that you had a daughter or no?
Yes, I have a daughter, and I just had a son. He's
congratulations.
6 weeks old.
So, my gosh, freshie.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and then I got another son. He's 10 years old. He'll be 11 right away.
Okay, and that's your fiance's son.
That's her son. But yeah.
Okay. How'd you two meet?
Just through a friend. I actually seen her hanging out with a friend of mine on her social media, and said, "What are you guys doing?"
Okay,
so I was hanging out. Yeah, I'll be right there. And then basically the rest is history. I fell in love with her right away.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
you guys are getting married, and you've had a child together now. The 6-week-old. 2. Okay. The daughter.
3-year-old. 3. Just turned 3.
She's 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's
very cool.
Yeah. Very hungry, gives me a lot of motivation for sure. I got a lot
full house. And then
absolutely.
What is she doing?
Well, she is a licensed hairdresser. So, but since we moved here, like the plan was to bang out some babies, kind of thing, right? So she just started waitressing and making, which made just as much money me at the time and tips and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So we just stacked up when we first came here, and I mean, my goal is ultimately another side goal is to just get her own situation, whether it be in our house or her own shop or whatever, right? Because she's licensed and she likes to do extensions and all that stuff. So
yeah, cool.
We got big goals,
and it's great.
And that's
great,
good
man.
to have that, right? We, both be as like-minded in that sense, whereas hungry for more. Like, from a place where we didn't have a lot, so it's really something that in the back of both of our minds to give our children everything they can get.
Excellent.
Everything we didn't have, right?
And you're clean right now. You're like clean from like drugs and alcohol. And all that stuff?
Well, I mean, just like you said, the hustler and came with it, was doing everything, and I mean that was half of it. I was, you could say I was an addict too, because I was high half the time too, right?
Right.
So then same thing, met her. I mean, nothing became in the picture no more. There's kids around, so I stopped doing it and everything. And I don't even drink. I mean, I had a couple beers the other day. I mean, couple with Aaron, but I mean, like was the last time I got drunk was a wedding last summer. Not very often. Like I don't drink nothing. No, I smoke. Just smoke. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. Very cool.
Yeah. No, it is absolutely. It helped big time. The farther you got away from it and the drinking and the drugs, definitely helps your mind and your mindset.
Huge.
Everything. But we're all about that too, so every chance I get, we're out there walking in nature, whatever it is. It's all about positive things. If it's not building our company, then whatever we can do to build our body and our minds. So mind if I smoke on the podcast? Yeah.
No, smoke up, dude. We had one dude take a piss.
I'm sitting outside, so
Dave with Drywall Magazine on Facebook. He took a leak during the podcast. We left it in, man.
Oh yeah?
I don't give a shit. But I think that's part of, I don't know, I say whatever you want.
Okay. So
I mean, I want it to be a good interview. I'm thinking questions. Everybody has a story. Everybody's got their story.
So there's a lot more to my story still. Like, I mean, this is where I saw how it became when this conversation even came about, when I was talking to Aaron, basically just, telling him my story. So I told him, came hustling. Then from then, with hustling, so it was always music. And I was high school, I was kind of in a rock band and stuff. This is where the entertaining comes in. So then I got into hustling in the streets, and I was in gangs and stuff like that. So then the kind of street life came into it. So we started making rap music in a rap group with me and my friends. And we were, one of my big bros, he was a big guy, right? So his nickname was the Big Dawg. He's, what's up, Big Dawg? Everyone called him that. And then he got a little bit of fame with it first. Wait a
second. You're telling me you were in a rap group?
Yeah. We're the Big Dogs, man. Yeah. Okay. So that was in Saskatoon.
Big Dawg rap group out of Alberta.
No, that was in Saskatoon. Well, actually, I started again when I went to Alberta. So then, so there's a whole bunch to it. But so we started.
So wait a second. I got questions, man.
Yeah. Okay,
you and one other dude.
At the time, no, there was 4 or 5 of us that started the group.
Okay.
But, yeah.
What'd you have? Run through who played what?
Like, what were our names?
No.
No. Nobody played. We were all rappers.
Who was on any turntables though? I mean, Beastie Boys are rappers, but those dudes play instruments. No, but you guys were all on the mic. All on the mic.
We all rappers, yeah.
Okay. Cool. And it was Big Dawg.
Yeah. So Big Dogs, yeah. But at the same time, so just like how I didn't take Drywall serious at the first, we never took it. It was just having fun with it, right? So like the whole time, like, I mean, for like 10 years, I did that growing up in the streets, whatever. We were just making rap songs, putting songs out. Never even made music videos, nothing like that. But then when I moved to Red Deer, and I kind of had a little bit more of a clear mindset. So then I restarted the group with a whole new guys, and a couple of same with the old guys. They followed me. Yeah. After I kind of started it again, a couple guys followed me and moved there for a bit, and then we started the group again.
How old were you then?
When we started again? Because we originally started it when we were like 17, 18.
Young. Okay.
So then I moved there, and I'm 21, 22, and I started it probably again by the next year. Found new guys after I lived there for a bit, and I wanted to make music, so I messaged everybody there. How do I get into the scene? Met a bunch of guys, and originally I started doing King of the Dot rap battles too. I did that.
Okay.
So that's how I met a lot of people in the scene there, and then I did that rap battles. You can watch the videos of that, and then we started getting
now. Wait, where do I watch videos of you rap battling?
Battling on YouTube. Stevie Chips, type KOTD, King of the Dot. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So Stevie Chips, that was my rap name.
KOT.
Chips, yeah. KOTD, King of the Dot. Yeah, I did a couple other smaller leagues as well, and just a few. I mean, a handful, but it was a lot of fun. But what I did was more my music. I mean, with my group, we had some music videos we put up, but it was kind of corny. We were just kind of not really knowing what we were doing, and then the group kind of had a falling out and everyone wanted to do their own thing. And then I was like, well, they all left and had better opportunities. Right? And I'm the one that kind of did that. So then I was like, well, because I'm going to go all in on my own. So then I went Stevie Chips, started doing solo stuff. So then I did the music video called Wolf by Stevie Chips. And that's actually my favorite song. And that was in 2016. And that's still to this day, if someone says, show me one of your songs, I'll still show that one. That one defines me as like, I'm a wolf, not a sheep. That's what that one's about.
Can you share that? Can you share the link of that one with me?
Yeah, absolutely.
We got to throw that shit up in the show notes, dude.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely, man. That was a good one. So then I started doing
Stevie Chips. Stevie Chips. How come it's not Stevie Chips Drywall? I like Big Dawg. I like Big Dawg. Don't get me wrong, but why? How come not? It's not Stevie Chips.
I think just Big Dawg Drywall sounds a lot better. It was so for us. It was so after it was a rap group. Even all the originals, like we all like some of us we've been friends since grade 2. You know, like we've known each other. We grew up across the street and stuff. Like it was a real close thing. So we became more of a family. So I mean, all of us got it tatted on us and stuff.
Okay, all right.
Big Dawg, right, and so I just wanted to carry on the legacy in that sense, right? So it's more of a legacy thing to me and us.
Yeah.
And I knew we're gonna build a legacy, and I said I'm gonna do it for you guys, one way or another. Right?
It's just what happened with the music? You still mess around with the music?
Yeah, I mean that was just up till recently. Like I last put music video I put out was I think 2020 or 2021. It's a pretty good one. There's it was a little more provocative. They got strippers in that one and everything. That was shot in a strip club here. Nice. That one's called Drinking. That's off a recent album. So actually, since I moved here, I actually put out 2 albums. You can listen to them on iTunes, Spotify, all that. Music videos for most of the songs. So I've done a lot since being here in Kelowna, and then I really got more into the Instagram aspect. And
do you have Instagram pages? Do you have Instagram pages for your?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I haven't even been active on it whatsoever. I do have.
No, I mean for the music stuff. Do you have an Instagram page?
I haven't been active on it though at all. Okay, in a long time. But Stevie Chips, you can add Stevie Chips on everything.
Okay, I'll follow you, dude.
Check it out. I mean, some all right stuff. I know, like I said, I never really took it serious, but I'm really leaning back towards it. But like I always said at the start, that I was like always in a rock band kind of thing, that we were playing instruments and stuff, and I kind of like to lean more towards that again because I really like singing and stuff like that, like kind of like a Jelly Roll aspect. I went from use the rap as his outlet to get onto rock and country and stuff like that. That's kind of what I like to think, country rock kind of stuff.
Yeah, with like more here's what I'm thinking, dude. Like I need a rap. I need like a Drywall Podcast rap. Like with Drywall mixing and shit. Columbia, you got Big Dawg Drywall, you got like Can-Am, the Drywall Podcast. Like we need a rap.
I mean, it's possible. I could. I mean, what kind of stuff? I mean, the kind of stuff that I did was more like street stuff, So I mean, at the same time, so then the street stuff kind of went away from my life, which kind of made it hard to stay on that same topic.
Right.
Whereas though I feel like if I come back, that's who I am. So that's why I said I'm leaning towards more singing now to kind of tell a different story, right? If I rap, I still have so much more to tell in that story, like who I am and where. Like there's a lot. I lived. Yeah. By the time I was 21 years old, I lived like what most people live their whole lives and never even experienced their whole life. Yeah. We did a lot like growing up. Like it was, I grew up by the time I moved out at 16, I'm in the streets. And then I was not like a street person, you know what I mean? Like a homeless person. Like it was like we were going out to get money or whatever it may be, right?
Yeah.
But life was just a big party at the same time, but young and dumb.
Of course.
So never took anything too serious, right?
Yeah, it's interesting. You sort of, let's say, turn your life around, but like you
1000%.
You saw the value though in like the family thing and the fiance, like all that stuff. You know what I mean? That's important shit. Like people don't
like goals. I had that before. I was like, by the time I'm 30, I want to have kids and stuff. And I think I was 31 when I had my first baby with her. So that's already set in stone. I was like, okay, perfect, let's go. And this all happened really fast. Like I said, we met in 2018, and everything was magic, right away.
The question that I would have about the music is that you transitioned to like singing more than rap.
But also at the same time, my point by telling all that I've been in rap was my next goal now is to get on TV with this. Okay. So as an entertainer and being in front of the camera the whole life, that's why I'm so good with the camera, and that's why I like talking to the camera and all that, right? So I feel like I could take it to the next level, and I feel like there maybe needs to be somewhat of a show for this on HGTV. If anybody's listening.
A show for what?
Drywall and drywall business. And even the whole aspect of it, man, that's very interesting, and they're very interesting characters, right? I mean, look at how much we have to talk about, and how close the community has to share within each other and stuff like that. So I mean, there's some I don't exactly know what. And
there ain't shit. There ain't shit going on. You can host. Okay, all right. I like it.
And I know that. So they say like I just even caught on like HGTV Canada on the Instagram. They say tag us to be maybe featured in your home project. Well, I'm not necessarily doing any home project, but I'm talking at the camera. And maybe one time somebody's going to be like, oh, we need him talking in front of our camera.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's our next goal. Like I said, you're not going to get rich off drywall, but I'm going to get rich with the knowledge and find a way to get rich using it.
Yeah, I like it.
For my family. That. I mean, here's another quote that I read not long ago. Like, don't think that I'm out here to get rich. My goal is money is the tool, not the goal. You don't just want money. You need money to build and for your family and everything. My goal is for my family to live in freedom.
I'm always like,
peace,
if like if you had $1 million, like if you had $1 million, like what would you be doing? You know, that's always kind of the question.
No, like, good. I mean, if I won $1 million, buy a house right now, buy a house, boom, pay off all our debt. What's that?
Yeah.
And then just continue my business as going.
Yeah. You would still hustle. You would still go after that goal. That's what I'm talking about.
Nothing's going to change. Nothing would ever change right now. And I probably would have better outlets if I have money, because money talks. So I could probably find better outlets to get HD TV a lot quicker. You know what I mean?
HD TV. That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Why HD? For specifically for drywall. Let's flesh this out a little bit. Like, so HD.
That's what I'm trying to figure out still. But I know that I need to be in front of the camera now. I know that I feel like part of my journey was to be a rapper and to do these tours and to be in front of the camera. Music videos was just to be a people person and entertainer. And now I found drywall as like a piece, and that became piece of the puzzle. Now I put them both together, and here I am on Instagram. Like you said, thrust myself onto the scene with how my talking or whatever it may be, right? So
okay, so like, too also if you're listening, Big Dawg Drywall, Stefan.
Yes.
Or
not Steven. I mean, if you read it, you would say Steven.
I would say Stevie Chips. Fucking Stevie Chips.
Yes, sir.
Or right. SC. Hey,
you know what's funny? Actually, once people get to know me, even a lot of my contractors, they call me Chips, or
I like that.
Some of my builders, they like tell the homeowners, they're like, Chips is our Stevie's coming by. They know me personally, and they're like, who? I come in.
So we were talking a little bit, and Stefan was like telling me that that I need to, and you had a great idea. I need to put all of the videos up onto YouTube, not just
absolutely.
Because I was like,
I know personally, I would rather watch the video. I was looking for the full videos of all your podcasts. I'm like, oh, where can I watch it? Because I would like to see the person, everything. I like to be, experience being, part of the interview itself.
I guess because it was just such a long file. It's just such a long file. The download takes a long time because it's an hour, dude. It's like an hour video.
And I feel like for your podcast, even to get that extra, right?
I like it. So if you're listening, Big Dawg's whole fucking interview is going to be dropped, like the whole on YouTube. Oh. You're going to see the whole thing. You get the audio version if you want. You're in the car, you put on the audio version. But if you want to sit back and watch Big Dawg for an hour, you can.
Let's do that. I like it.
We will.
Right?
We will. Cool.
An hour on HDTV and give me that slot, right?
Do you follow Build at all, or like Drywall Shorty? Have you like?
Yeah. I followed. I followed the people right away that had like a lot of followers, and to try to see, obviously what got them there. And I pieced everything together. Just like when I started being in the streets and being a rapper, I got to listen. I stopped listening to everything else, and now I'm going to study that. So I know what I'm doing. Cool. In that sense, like I'm going to study what I'm doing. So if I'm going to get noticed in this, then how did they do it? And boom. So I contacted all the brands and everything. Okay, let's work together. So I've reached out to everybody, and the first people that a bit got, and I kept bugging. Like even Aaron said himself, like he's like, I already seen you working with Can-Am, so I didn't want to be like that, right? But I'm like, he's like, well, you kept bugging me, so eventually, I gave it, and I was bugging them, bugging all the people to do with Colombia, not just him. Eventually they all, okay, let's go talk to him. So.
Aaron's a cool guy, right?
Absolutely. No, it was a great experience. I took a lot of knowledge from him, and it was great learning how to use the tools from him. And he's a hell of an entrepreneur. Absolutely.
Let's talk about the Predator. So Aaron brought you a Predator to try out. You guys made some video content. It's really funny. You guys did some cool stuff.
Oh, there's lots more to come too.
You had never ran the bazooka before.
I have, but not for many years. I only used it on a couple jobs, like when I was working for other people. I got to use it a few times.
Okay.
I never stuck with it, and I just it was cheaper. I mean, around the tube and flat, and I just never spent the money, right?
Why do you think you never? So it's maybe financial, but do you think it
for me it was just hard to spend that, and I didn't realize that I really did need it, and you just don't know until you do make the jump to it. But I mean,
it's fucking fast.
It's a big jump,
it's a big jump,
obviously, right? But it absolutely saves you the time. So anyone that is listening and is wondering if they should make that jump, big time. Spend the money because it's going to save you money in the long run and time, all that. Absolutely.
Okay.
Cleanliness. Okay. So if you're talking about my experience with it, it's absolutely more cleaner. I mean, you see in the video, I mean, it got a little bit messier because that was my first day. The next day or 2 days later, I was already taping another job by myself. Aaron wasn't there. I did great. Hardly any of the issues that I had before. So I'm very excited to keep moving forward. Cleaner, faster. I mean, that's all you need.
Hell yeah. I imagine you probably do maybe a couple of videos when you get a little faster with it.
I'm gonna have videos all the time. There's gonna be a lot. Nice. I'm taping another house tomorrow, so it's a nice big rounded walls and everything. It's gonna be fun.
Awesome.
So there'll be videos tomorrow for sure.
So you what boxes were you using? I mean, what's your go-to box? What brand?
Always Columbia. I've always had Columbia boxes.
You like Columbia boxes, and you like so you're.
I have one level 5, but I was never a fan.
Yeah. What level? You had level 5 box.
12. Yeah, 12 and the handle, but I wasn't a fan. No.
Okay, so what are you using? Are you using like a 10 and a 12?
Actually, 10 and a 14.
10 and a 14. Okay.
10 and 14. Yeah.
And about level 5 has some very cool shit, man. And I've met the former owner, Scott Murray, really cool guy. And you know what? He always supported Fresco Harmony. He was always very cool to me.
Cool.
And we have their mixer's fucking phenomenal. Like, so I did a mix. I did it because I mix color. So like a mixed color up.
Yeah, I've always been very interested in what's going on with all
this. So
like mixing mud with the paint and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's like fancy walls, right?
It's cool. Fancy walls, yeah. It's colored mud. It's colored mud, fancy walls. But I did like sort of a contest with it with a bunch of different mixers. I called it the Great American Beat Off. Okay. So the level 5 mixer ended up winning for certain reasons. It has less drag when it mixes, and it spins up a bucket of mud quicker than any other. The Sheetrock brand took second place, but yeah, they're great mixers. And then those guys gave me mixers to give away at trainings that I do, and they've always been supportive. And I dig that, especially in this fucking trade where it's really hard to get your ideas out there. Anybody that's supportive of doing something cool, man, you got to jump on board, like this.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. I'm all for it. And I'm all for the community. Like, I was talking how other contractors were saying how they felt before. And I'm not like that at all. Like, I enjoy to work with anybody and anybody and how we could build together or whatever, right? Just
hell yeah. Yeah, you got to come out to CSR on the next Black Friday event in Toronto.
Yeah. I've never even been to Toronto. No.
It's fun.
Never been to the East Coast.
So there's a bunch of big, influencers will be there. That's where I first met Aaron and Wolfgang and stuff like that. The folks at CSR are super cool. They give out swag buckets for people like you that come on the Drywall podcast. You're going to get like a cool swag bucket with some new stuff, 3-way tech dry tool. Like Corey's super cool with the tech dry tool. Like that guy's cool.
I did a little bit with him. A couple videos for his knife there. It was pretty cool.
He's a cool dude. But very cool. One thing I ask all the interviewees is pearl of wisdom, man. What is your pearl of wisdom? You've given lots of good pearls of wisdom, but specifically to the drywall community, if you could bestow a bit of wisdom, what would it be?
This is what I actually just started teaching my guy that started working with me again, because I really I've really taken this one in and realized this one as of late. And this what you need to do if you want to succeed with it is care, no matter what it is. And I even tell them, it doesn't matter if you're at the beginning stage or at the end stage. It's just care about it and make it a passion, because otherwise it's just a job to you and it's not going to be fun. And all the drywall stuff. Well, drywall is going to suck if you don't, you know what I mean? You got to care about what you do. Yeah,
anything.
So that's the number one thing, and that's the number one thing that your quality, cleanliness, all will come with that, because you care about your job. So number one thing, care about your job.
Yeah,
everything will come with that. Everything will come with that. Everyone's going to respect the guy that cares about his job, cares about his business, and the way he presents himself. So, care.
Very good. Very good. I love it. And is there anything that you want to add? Goals wise, the future of Big Dawg. We kind of talk about it. We kind of already talked about it a little bit, but anything you want to add?
I mean, as for everything's already been touched on. I think. Goals. I've been trying to get on HDTV. I think.
HDTV. That's funny.
I know I don't really even feel like I have to cross the fingers. I don't believe in bad luck or anything like that. If you want it, you can get it. So like you said, I thrust it on the scene, and I'm just early into it. There's a lot.
Yeah, I love that. Love your energy, man.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Fantastic. It's fantastic, Stefan. And if people want to find Stefan, let's hear your Instagram handle.
So Instagram, you can hit me up at Big Dawg Drywall. It's BIGDAWG Drywall. That's a little DAWG. Check out the tattoo, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So Big Dawg Drywall. Yeah. On Facebook, Instagram, both same thing.
Do we? I think we need to. I need to follow you on Facebook. Yeah. I had a Drywall Podcast page, but my personal page at the first of the year got vaporized in 2023. Like somebody hacked it, and then they just deleted 12 years worth of stuff. Gone.
Yeah. Well, I actually did that to myself. It's funny you said that. I actually did that to myself when things started getting bigger, and I started catching on online. I'm like, ain't nobody gonna look back at my old street Stevie chips and find anything, you know.
And so you hacked yourself.
I care. So I basically hacked myself just so that I start fresh as a good businessman. I mean, my story's on my skin now.
That's smart.
Songs, if you want to go back and listen. Right?
I was all pissed off, but then I was like, oh man, I couldn't have done that if I fucking tried. Like everything is gone. And I was like, now my new profile is just like Nick Harmon, no information about family, nothing. I own Fresco Harmony. That's it. So very cool. Good fun fact, fun tip. And YouTube, what's your YouTube handle?
For my music?
Yeah.
Like, I don't have a YouTube for the drywall or anything yet. Okay. But I mean, if you want to check out my music, it's at Stevie Chips. Just search up Stevie Chips, right? The one and only.
STEVIE.
CHIPZ.
CHIPZ.
Z.
All right. Cool. You know that I write and play music?
No way.
Yeah.
You can write to what kind of songs? Like country rock?
No, I'm kind of like a Black Keys, like White Stripes kind of guy. I like the blues, you know.
White Stripes is cool. I like that.
I have an old Silvertone and 2 electric guitars. I've got two acoustic guitars and a mandolin and a ukulele.
We might have to have a session one day and see what we can do.
That's what I'm saying. Well, I think like the Drywall podcast, what would be really badass for our intro is a small like 30-second, maybe even a minute, like rap about the drywall industry, fucking whatever you want to rap about, but like that'd be badass. At the same time, that's why I kind of fell off it, because I mean I didn't know really what to say anymore, because I was always rapping about street I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you, I'm giving you an assignment.
Never really rapped about like normal life, you know. It's just gang life and
something to consider, dude. We've got time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I will see if I can kind of
throw down a track and send it to me, man.
I maybe could. I mean, I got the home studio sitting here. Maybe that gives me something to do.
Like a minute, like just a little jingle with maybe a loop, you know. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Maybe you know what too? I could throw you like a riff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you could put something over the top of
maybe
like
a couple
riff.
lines that you had in mind, and I'll put it all together.
No, you got the lines. This would all be you. I would throw down like a ripping guitar riff or something.
Sure. Yeah.
And then you
can go from there.
You could throw something over the top.
The vibe. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
For sure.
Right.
I tried it.
Maybe we'll flesh it out.
I tried it. Yeah.
Stephen Jenkins, 35 from
34,
Kelowna, 34, BC. 34. Well, 34 years young. Let's not jump the gun. When's your birthday?
No. July 12th. So just happened.
Oh,
July
you just
12th.
turned. Yeah, you're definitely 34. Kelowna, BC, Big Dawg Drywall. You can check him out. Thank you so much for being on the Drywall Podcast today, man.
Thank you for having me, man. It's awesome. Yeah. Pretty cool, man.
And we'll be in touch. We'll be in touch. You'll get a swag bucket, and all's well. All's well. Awesome. All right, buddy. Well, you have a good rest of your day. We'll talk soon, man.
Okay, thanks, man. You too.
All right, later. Special thanks to Stefan for being with us on the Drywall Podcast today. I really appreciate it. Guests of the Drywall Podcast will receive a sweet swag bucket from our friends over at CSR with all kinds of awesome drywall goodies. Come on the Drywall Podcast, get a free swag bucket. It's that easy. It's that awesome. Thank you so much for joining us on the Drywall Podcast today. I sincerely appreciate it. I hope you all have an amazing weekend. And remember, keep drywalling.